24. Aurora. I have no idea how we got to this point. I'm following Wyatt up the stairs completely naked after having the most mind-blowing orgasm I've ever had in my life. I've never finished from oral before, but everything Wyatt did was heavenly. And don't get me started on the way he called me princess. I don't think I'll ever hear that in the same way again. I think you might be the most perfect girl I've ever met. I'm still dumbstruck that this is all happening with him, that he wants me. The way he kissed me shattered everything I thought about him, about us. There was a clear hunger in his kiss, a roughness I expected, yet it was so at odds with how gentle and ardent he was with my pleasure, like he was trying to prove something, like he'd happily get down on his knees for me 1,000 more times. There's a heady rush of empowerment that comes from that which I'm afraid I might just keep chasing. Wyatt's fingers are interlaced with mine as we enter my bedroom and he leads me to the bed. He takes hold of my face, molten midnight eyes staring into my soul before he kisses me again and I lose all control, slackening in his grip. When his tongue sweeps over my lips, I can't stop myself from pulling his top up and over his head. I know I've seen his body before, even touched it, but God, feeling it like this is something else. Being held in his thick, muscled arms, running my hands through his chest hair, down the faint ripples of muscles that carve up his torso. Wyatt eases me up the bed and then he pulls away, lips curving into a smirk when I moan from the loss of him. "Where is it?" he asks, one brow raised. It takes me a second to remember what he'd said. He wants to use my vibrator. He's not intimated by it. Where has this man been my whole life? Voice a little shaky, I nod to the bedside table drawer. There's condoms in there too. Perfect? He smiles, kissing my cheek as he climbs off the bed. He pulls my vibrator out of the drawer and tosses it over to me, eyes darkening as they trail over my body. "Show me how you like it." I swallow that hollow feeling of desire building inside of me again. Pleasuring myself in front of someone is new territory for me, but there's something about Wyatt that makes me feel so open and safe. Jake was always more guarded when I suggested using my vibrator during sex, probably not realizing the shame his reaction created for me. I turn on the vibrator and press it lightly against my still sensitive clit, circling. I'm not sure I've ever had 2 orgasms in one night, so I don't know if I'll get off again. But then I never thought I'd finish without my vibrator, so who even knows anymore? Wyatt's chest heaves as he watches me, slowly walking back to the end of the bed. His throat bobs when I let out a little whimper. I'm suddenly rubbing my clit faster as he takes off his jeans, and I can see him straining against his boxers. All those inches. Oh God, I want Wyatt Hensley inside of me so fucking badly. This is absolute torture. Wyatt finally pulls down his boxers, eyes never leaving me, then rips open the condom with his teeth and rolls it down his impressive length, making my mouth water. I swear the thought of feeling him inside of me already has me close. All the muscles in my thighs are clenching like there's no tomorrow. I wet my lips with my tongue, then bite down. He watches every movement. Steadily, Wyatt climbs up the bed like a predator stalking his prey and kneels before me, thick thigh muscles bulging. He takes the vibrator, keeping it pressed against my clit, and mimics the motions I was using. "Like this?" A little to my left, I respond, and he follows my instructions instantly. I moan to signal when he's hit the right spot. He's watching me with something like raw wonder, and I rather imagine I'm mirroring his exact expression, because I can't believe this is happening right now. He shifts himself so that he's leaning on one arm over me and settles himself between my legs, somehow managing to balance while still stroking me with the vibrator. He nudges at my entrance, the first contact making my body scream to finally feel all of him. He slides his cock against me, teasing me. I whine, unashamed of how desperately I need him. Bringing his lips close to mine, his pine wood scent and the whiskey on his breath filling my senses, Wyatt rasps, "Ask nicely." "Oh Lord," I swallow hard. "Please, Wyatt." His eyes widen, then his lips capture mine, stealing away my moan as he slides into me. Every nerve in my body is exploding, pleasure rippling through me with his slow thrust. It takes a few long strokes for Wyatt to finally ease all of himself into me, filling up the emptiness that's been longing for him. "Fuck, Aurora." You feel so good, he breathes into my neck. Wyatt picks up the pace, pleasure building inside of me at the combination of his cock and the vibrator then. He abruptly lifts himself up, dropping the vibrator. He holds up a finger when I go to protest. Patience, princess. I bite down on my grin. Wyatt narrows his eyes, then grabs a pillow and props it under my hips. He settles my legs on each of his shoulders and grabs the vibrator, resuming in the same spot. Raising his brows at me in silent question at the positioning of the vibrator, Wyatt awaits my nod. When he receives it, he grabs my hip and plunges into me again, both of us swearing in response. At how deep and intense it feels. The new angle coupled with the vibrator brings me desperately close, the prospect of release rising as Wyatt's thrusts get quicker, rougher. I dig my nails into his back, scratching down. He wraps his hand around my neck, leaning over me further so that he's fucking me harder and deeper than I thought possible. My head feels light, all sensation in my body rushing down to my clit. I lose all awareness of time. I can't think. All I can focus on is my cresting orgasm, and then I'm suddenly crying out, calling his name like it's the only thing that matters. Fuck, you're so beautiful when you come, Aurora. The stars haven't left my vision when Wyatt flips me over onto all fours and slides back inside of me, my body tightening from the intense pleasure of being filled by him again. Fuck, it's such a good angle, I can't help but arch my back to take more of him. I'm lost in every stroke of pleasure rocketing through me, forcing myself back onto his cock to meet every one of his thrusts. Yes, princess, that's a good girl. Take what you need. My body shakes, lapping up the praise. Wyatt's thrusts get messier, and he fists my hair, body slapping against mine until he's groaning from the release of his own orgasm, sheathing himself to the hilt with one last thrust. He leaves a trail of kisses along my shoulder as he pulls away, letting me flop down against the bed, head spinning, not quite able to comprehend the last hour. Wyatt bloody Hensley. Falling for Wyatt was not the plan, albeit he's the painfully hot, brooding rancher who knows exactly how to get under my skin and make me come harder than I ever have before, twice. Forget the fact that we're supposed to be keeping things professional to avoid any awkwardness when working together. The real problem is that he lives here in Willow Ridge, where he told me he wants to stay, and I will eventually have to go back home to England. I know the retreat will keep me here for a while, but who knows how long that will be. It is success will last. I realize I've been in my head for far too long when Wyatt is suddenly lying on the bed next to me, pulling me over so my head is on his chest. I freeze in his arms at first but quickly melt into him, relishing the way my body seems to curve so perfectly to his. His heart is rattling in his chest still. Because of me ... and so is mine. Maybe, just for tonight, we can pretend the future doesn't exist. That was, I breathe out. Incredible, he finishes, fingers pulsing against my skin. Yeah ... I know you only live like literally 2 seconds away, but you can stay if you'd like. I twist around and meet his smile. It's not his usual smirk or smug grin when he's trying to rile me up. Instead, it's a soft curve that almost suggests relief. God, I can't get over the way he watches me so devotedly. I would, if that's what you want too, Wyatt asks in a more hushed version of his usual deep voice. Definitely. I snuggle back into him, squeezing tight. Wyatt's arms wrap all the way round me and he traces lazy circles on my back. It feels so warm and safe to be enveloped in him and that familiar leather and pine wood scent. I can't imagine I smell anything as nice. Some of my hair plastered to my face with perspiration. Although, I also want to shower before I sleep, so you'll have to entertain yourself for a little while. Probably a good idea. I didn't want to say anything, but he grins, bringing a hand up to cover his nose and stifle his laugh. Rude. I jab him hard and push away, kneeling on the bed, hands on my hips. Is that what this is going to be like now? You fuck me senseless and then insult me? Wyatt grins and pulls me over to him so that I'm straddling his hips. I try to ignore the rush of desire slicing through me at the contact of him against me, especially since he's hard again. It takes everything not to start rolling my hips. not to lean forward and guide him back in. Firstly, it was a joke, he sneers, hands running up and down my hips. And secondly, I'm sure you could get used to the occasional insult, if it means getting fucked senseless every day. Scarily, I think I probably could.